how's it? How's it going? It's been a while since I did a video. Honestly, I can say I was kind of burnt out, not just on making videos, but I was just burnt out in general. My last video didn't get any views. I know it sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm not really saying that to be complaining. It's just, it really struck me and getting burnt out on work. But now I'm back. I took roughly the week off from making videos. Took 2 days off of work, Friday and today, and I'm feeling energized. Feeling energized to get back to making videos at least. And I might actually be changing up the stuff I make videos on. The news is fun and all, don't get me wrong. We have to be informed. But the news is kind of depressing. I don't know if I'm going to be continuing that. I may splice it up with, I don't know, maybe reading Reddits or reading something else out there that may be a little more entertaining. But as far as this goes, I'm going to have to talk about parental rights. It's under attack. It's been under attack for quite a while. At least going back 10, 20 years. And it keeps on coming up and keeps on coming up. We get wins, we get losses, we get wins, and we get losses. And it just resets. Just like Groundhog Day. But the most recent attack is from Maryland. One of the biggest gripes from educators and teachers and principals is that parents are not involved in their student or their kids, especially when it comes to their school curriculum and activities. And when parents do get involved, they get raided by the FBI just for asking questions about certain topics, get labeled domestic terrorists. Now, regardless how you feel about religion, regardless how you feel about politics, this isn't particularly a Democrat versus Republican. This isn't necessarily versus Muslim versus Christian or Jewish. This is religious freedoms and parental rights. A judge rejects Maryland parents' motion to keep kids out of lessons with LGBTQ books. Federal judge in Maryland has denied a request by a group of parents to temporarily allow the children to opt out of reading LGBTQ plus books in Montgomery County Public Schools, stating that the exposures to ideas that has contradict religious beliefs does not burden religious exercise. The parents, who are Muslims and Christian, filed a lawsuit against the district seeking permission to opt their kids out of reading the books on a permanent basis. Pretty much this is the direction that we're going. The states do not want your parents involved. The only thing the state wants is you to make kids. To produce kids, don't raise your kids. The state will raise them. If you object to the way that the state is raising your kids, you'll no longer be the parent of said kids. And this is just one example. This is just one example. Let's see here in California. California bill will punish parents who do not affirm their children or their child's gender identity. There's bills in every state just about. A newly revised California bill will make parents' refusal to affirm a child's transgender identity grounds for denial of custody or visitational rights. The legislation, which already passed the state assembly, would require any judge hearing a custody dispute over a trans identity child to favor a parent who affirms the child's preferred gender. On Tuesday, the author of the bill released the updated version that defines the health, safety, and welfare of a child to include the parent's affirmation of the child's identity or gender identity. I may be on the losing battle of this. I may not have the public support of this, but I don't think kids should have their make-believe gender affirmed. I think that they're either playing make believe, or they're seeking attention, or they are influenced by the teachers and other students and media that they're consuming, whether it's Disney or PBS for kids, and they want to act those out. I don't think we should automatically assume that they have body dysphoria or gender dysphoria. And I do believe I'm on the losing side of this temporarily. I think as we go further on and we actually get into the science of it and the psychology of it, I'm going to tend to believe that I'm going to be on the right side of this topic in about 10, 15 years or sooner. You're already having lawsuits against parents. You're already having lawsuits against doctors and psychiatrists who push this crap onto kids when all they wanted was the attention of one of their parents or both of their parents. I can't confirm this. I can't say it's one way or the other. But this is just another example where you, as a parent, are losing your rights to the state. Now, I do know that I do spout on about states' rights when it comes to the government, as in federal rights versus states' rights. But one thing I don't normally talk about is the individual right. The individual right is the you and I who participate in this country. Our rights, as long as we're doing it peacefully and not causing too much of a ruckus, should not be trumped by the state's rights or the school's rights. Now, I'm not even talking about education, which is beneficial, but I'm talking about identity, gender identity. People might want to identify as a feline, canine, transgender alien. That is something that's in make-believe. That's not based on any educational value. We're failing in math, we're failing in reading, we're failing in science, we're definitely failing in social studies, which is governmental studies, to know how our government is ran. Most people don't even know what capital of their state is, and some people don't even know the District of Columbia, or DC, is. Our basic education isn't being met, but yet parents have no rights to determine whether or not they should seek certain medical decisions for their kids. And sometimes the parents is left out of the discussion. Let's say little Timmy goes to school, you drop little Timmy off while Timmy's in school. He goes by Timothy. Not Timothy, but Timabeth or Bethany or whatever. Sally. Because Timmy identifies as the female. The parents don't know. The parents don't know because the parents are not being informed what's happening at school. They give Sally a dress. She dresses up, identifies as a female, goes to PE class and all those good stuff. And at the end of the school, Sally becomes Timmy again, puts on the same clothes that he went to school, and the parents are no longer wiser to it. I'm only going to read that part of this story. Here we go. Ohio School District tells teachers that they do not have to inform parents of students' name pronoun changes. Teachers can just use one of those preferred pronoun names with the students, and there's no need to share that information, Mentor Public School advises. Like I said, you got Maryland, you got California, Ohio. There's recently a case in Dallas where you have a very confused child. They go through a nasty divorce. The father says he's a son. The mother says they have a daughter. The court rules in the mother. So it's not just one state is immune to it. There's multiple states and states that you wouldn't even think that this would be an issue if you read the news, if you follow the cable news or PBS or NPR, you would think Texas doesn't care about trans rights, but there's a case where a child is being affirmed legally and the father can't say anything about it. And if he tries to say that he has a son, he'll lose his visitation rights. It's a very, very troubling period. Ohio School District recently informed teachers they have no obligations to inform parents of transgender or transitioning students as young as 11 to request to be called by a different name or pronoun. On August 31st, Mentor Public School Assistant Superintendent Timothy Hammond sent an email to teachers grades 6 through 12 saying that they do not have to notify the parents of the names of the pronoun change if the students can only request it informally and does not ask for it to be changed in Google or Infinity Campus Parental or Parent Protocol, or Portal, I should say. If a student shares with the teacher that their preferred name that they would like to be called, and the student does not want to change it in IC or Google, there's really no need to go any further. The email obtained by the Parents Defending Education, PDE, and shared exclusively with Fox News Digital stated that the teacher can just use the preferred pronouns and names with the student, and then there's no need to share the information with other staff or the family members unless the student would like additional support with this throughout the year. Now, I really harp on kids transitioning. I don't think that should be a thing. But I do recognize that there's parents that would celebrate their child transitioning and would like to be a part of that, would like to go through the process, be part of the process, mentor their kids like a loving parent does. I may have a different opinion if I really think they actually really love their child for making life-altering decisions. But that's neither here or there. This is taking away a celebration that the parent would probably celebrate and accept their child, whoever they want to be, but you're taking that away from the parents. I know there's an argument to be made that sometimes the parents will not treat that child well or abuse that child. There's definitely that argument, but that is treating the parents guilty, and they must prove that they're innocent. We do not live in a country where you're guilty and you must prove your innocence. We live in a country where you're innocent until proven guilty. Let's see, is there any more? There's a little bit more to this. We'll continue reading this one. The district issued a statement from Fox News Digital saying that its practice will always focus on the best way to meet the safety needs of our students and staff. We will continue to work with our board members and legal counsel to determine the guidelines we will follow as federal regulations and court cases around these topics evolve, the district said. The district did not answer Fox News Digital questions asking if teachers are obligated to notify the parents if the student does want to change an IC or Google, or whether the district position that an 11-year-old is mentally capable of deciding his or own gender transition and begin that transition at school without the parents knowing. You're taking away the parents' rights to be part of their kids' lives, and a very important part. If they feel that they have gender dysphoria and you don't know that they have gender dysphoria, how can you be a supportive parent if you don't know? Schools implementing these types of internal guidelines are violating parental rights by purposely keeping them in the dark and preventing them from directing the upbringing and the education of their minor children. PDE Director Community Engagement Marilyn Salabrera said in a statement to Fox News Digital, if the goal is to provide a welcoming and supportive environment for the students, why do they have to hide it from parents? Instead, transparency and proper notifications of the legal responsible parties, the parents, should be number one step in any of these circumstances. Because you're pretty much taking away the parents' roles here. Little by little, you're whittling away You're taking away parents' rights to determine what books your kids can and can't read. Um, Maybe you're okay with reading them LGBTQ plus books, but it's being forced upon you that they will read these books. You don't have the option to opt out if you're in Maryland. You don't even have the right to know if your child's part of that community in Ohio. In California, you'll lose your parental rights if you don't affirm your child. But yes, so yes, this whole video, this whole rant, which is going on long enough, is a very small amount of evidence showing that parental rights is under attack. And as Americans, you need to get involved in your school board, you need to get involved in your local elections to make sure that on the state level, your parental rights are being taken care of. But most importantly, if you're a parent, I'm probably not the best person to give this advice, but make sure you talk to your kids. Talk to your kids, have an open relationship or open discourse type of relationship with your kids so they won't feel the need to keep secrets from you. That's the only advice I could have because you only have one shot to raise them, and the state wants you to not raise them. With that being said, that is my video for maybe this morning. I might have a later one. I haven't really decided. But that being said, that is my video. Leave a comment down below if you want. But most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.